What did you think of the Call of Duty presentation?
I liked it. We actually had a chance to see this in advance, not that exact demo, but we saw the game last week, and it's beautiful. My question is how did the technical innovations translate into gameplay? How do they make me care that they have higher poly counts and they have these new particle effects and they have this new lighting system? All that's great, just on a piece of paper, but if it doesn't translate into a compelling, emotional, engaging experience, like you said, get with something like, say, The Last of Us, right, which looks far worse than the new Call of Duty looks, but the emotional intensity of that game I think is very apparent, and I didn't necessarily get that from this Call of Duty demo.
That was quite surprising because they're the king of doing these, totally blockbusting demos, and I didn't really get the same emotional connection from the demo. I think it was the mix of, explaining their tech and, having all the wireframe stuff, which quite frankly, we've seen thousands of times.
And it leaves me cold.
And it does leave me cold. I just don't want to see behind the scenes. I just want to see, the emotional connections. Love the dog.
You would say that.
Love the dog, yes. Although I felt a bit sorry for the dogs. They strapped a lot on the poor map. But I love the dog, but I wish they'd spent a little bit more time on what you do with that new controller, and how it has that impact on the game and the emotion.
Well, that's it. It's the player filling in those gaps with their own imagination and feeling like the choices that they're making are relevant.
Yeah.
And you can have as beautiful a world as you can create, but if it's devoid of that sense of involvement or meaningful consequence based on the player's actions, it doesn't matter how good it looks.
Yeah.
Peter, as a developer, did you think the tech demos they were showing of the Call of Duty stuff, Call of Duty Ghosts, was impressive?
I think it was one of those demos where they kind of wanted you to appreciate how much work they were investing in the tools. And, that left you thinking, well, yeah, that's good that they've got all those tools, but, what is the gameplay? I would, and they always do this, they concentrate on the story in the world, but they don't really talk so much about multiplayer. I just want to know what that means in multiplayer. Do we all have dogs in multiplayer? Do we all, can we blow up our dogs? Or will you shoot someone else's dog? These are the questions that it didn't really
No
answer.
to all of that.
Yeah. Peter Molyneux left that demo asking, I wonder if I can shoot a dog.
Well, I'm sorry, that was the first thing that occurred to me. I mean, there are like bombs on the back of the dog's back. I mean, are you going to remote blow up?
You're a monster.
I didn't put that.
Did you guys find it interesting that they closed with Call of Duty? They've got some sort of exclusive partnership with EA. So the two power player third-party publishers, they're trying to hop into bed with both of them at the same time. It's not an easy feat. And so Call of Duty is getting exclusive DLC, if I heard that correctly. We were sort of talking amongst ourselves here, but
Which has been happening for a long time.
yeah, exclusive. Yeah, so continuing the same partnership. And yet also trying to get all those EA Sports games. So it seems like that's how Microsoft's trying to go for the gamers, is to hit them where they're most familiar